Hello, hello, hello. This is your message from the universe for January 7th, 2021. This is the rune Tewaz. Now, Tewaz is the rune of the spiritual warrior, but in this reading, it is reversed. Normally, it is an upright arrow. Now, the spiritual warrior's battle is always with themselves, and it's not necessarily because you are fighting and angry, but more because you are trying to master your own emotions, to understand the patterns in your life, to overcome the things that hold you back in battle, in life, in every day. When it's reversed, it really is speaking, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but it is speaking about your relationships with other people. Now, in many of the past readings where we have spoken about this, we have been talking about other people and how they have treated you. But it is really, this rune is saying we really have to look at ourselves and our own motivations. We have to look at the pain from our past. The Three of Swords in a traditional deck is that heart with the three swords in it. I'm sorry, this is moving so much. I apologize for the wiggliness of the camera. Just shut your eyes and listen to my voice, okay? It's this pain from our past that we are looking at that we may put on other people. We may blame other people for that past, for that pain, and then we are acting in our present on that, okay? We need to be very mindful of the motivations behind our own actions. And are we doing them? Are we behaving this way? Are we perceiving others this way because of pain from our past, because of what we are done? Are we trying to control the people around us as part of a self-defense mechanism? Are we trying to control situations around us so that we don't get hurt again, so that we don't get our heart broken, so that we can be the ones who are controlling others or controlling the situation or saying what goes on, what happens? There's a difference between being a boss and being a boss. In one situation, you are trying to control others so they don't hurt you first. And in the other situation, you are controlling yourself and your own mind and your own thoughts and your own actions. And through that level of control, you then change everything around you. You cannot control the people around you. And the things that you do to try to get them to treat you a particular way, or to try to change their minds, or to keep them under your thumb maybe, or to micromanage them, those things will keep you stuck. Those things will interfere with your spiritual battle, with your spiritual journey, because you are trying to interject your will into the actions of other people. And yes, sometimes we can manipulate others without even realizing it. We can have our own behavior in such a way that they will react a particular type of way. And in case you don't quite make the connection with that, I know that I'm speaking kind of vague, but for example, when we think about a stereotypical mother who uses guilt to elicit love and action from their children, okay? A mom who says, I don't know, you know, my kids never call me, they never call me, they never reach out to me. You know, if you loved me, you would XYZ. Or I'm all alone here, and they're not actually, what the mother could say is, you know, I'm really lonely here by myself. Could you call me more often? Instead, they go, I don't know, no, but you know, I haven't heard from you. You know, I could be dying here. I could be melting away. Oh yeah, that happened a few days ago, but you didn't bother to call me. And they guilt their children into giving them love and attention in the way that they want it. We do that in our own lives. It may not be guilt, but it can be a lot of different things that we do through our behavior that manipulate others to react in a particular way. And often it's not something that we even realize that we're doing, but we learn these techniques from the time that we're small to manipulate the world around us to give us what we want. And when we're children, that's understandable. But when we grow up, we have to look at those things and try to figure out how we can undo that, so that we are allowing the universe to move in the way that it should, and so that we can properly perceive other people's actions in relation to our own actions, and so that we can be clear with how we are behaving and the choices that we make. This reading is really at its heart about self-reflection, about looking at yourself closely, and not about blame. This is not about blaming the victim. This is not about blaming you. It is about accountability. And then taking that knowledge and having empathy, having compassion, nurturing ourselves, loving ourselves, offering ourselves that love, unconditional love of God, of the universe, of whatever you like to call it Fred, doesn't make a difference. That energy is within you already. And we will beat ourselves up and say that we don't deserve it, think that it is separate from us, when it is the farthest thing from the truth. That energy is within us all the time. And by being accountable for our actions, releasing control, and allowing the wheel to spin freely with only our intentions for love and kindness and success and abundance and all the good things that we want to think about, we have to allow things to flow as they're going to. And we have to be wanting those things without expecting those things, so that then we're not disappointed if it doesn't happen in the way that we imagined it to happen. It's very difficult for us as humans to embrace an abstract concept of just general good wishes, general abundance, general, we always get a picture in our mind. And if the picture doesn't come out to the way that the truth came out, or the way that things turned out, then we get down on ourselves, then we get mad at ourselves. But that's part of this spiritual warrior thing, is it is full surrender while still having a mastery and control over our own emotions, an understanding of ourselves on a deep level. I'm not sure I'm getting this across properly, to be honest with you. My neurological thing is a little bit tweaking today and yesterday, to be honest with you. But I hope that this is giving you a little bit more clarity, that we have to look to ourselves. We often look at others and blame them for what happened to us, but we can't continue to blame them for the past when we haven't done anything to change ourselves. If we're still reacting the way that we are because of something that happened so many years ago, it's up to us to look at that and to change it without blaming the person who made us that way. Because most of the time, those who love us were doing what they did out of love for us, even if it was incredibly misguided. I was actually having a conversation last night about this with vegetables, and how being forced to eat vegetables as a child, as a grown-up, we still hold that against our parents, some of us. We still hold that against them and blame them because now I'm picky, or now I eat too much, or meanwhile, all it was a vegetable. You had to eat a pea, you had to eat something. And we, for the rest of our lives, often will hold on to that anger and that feeling, and then we react from it. I overeat because of this, or I don't eat enough, or I have an eating disorder because of it. But if you know that that's what it's from, and you don't do anything to change that narrative, then you are being complicit in accepting that. You are not battling with yourself. You are just saying that's just the way it is, and oh well. When really everything we do is affected by everything that we do. And changes that you make now will affect that history, because all time happens all the time. I do a show called Healing with Time Travel. All time happens all the time. And if it still hurts you today, then it's still happening. And you can travel back in time, and you can change your reaction to what happened in the moment, and it will change when you come back to the present how you feel right now about it. If you want that link, let me know. It might already be over in my playlist. I'm not 100% sure, but I am grateful for you guys. I love you guys. I know this has been rambling. Again, my neurological thing is kind of off the rails today, but I feel like I got the message out. So you are beloved, you matter, and you are so very loved.